And in South America, authorities in Brazil have halted the construction of a factory for Chinese electric vehicle giant Build Your Dreams, or BYD.
Across the world, no one would have expected an orphan from China to rise to the top until BYD CEO Wang Chanfu came into the picture.
Brazil says working conditions at a local factory owned by Chinese EV maker BYD are slavery-like.
From winning Warren Buffett's endorsement to winning the EV race, Chuanfu has cemented his name in the automobile industry. However, things appear to have taken a swift turn, and Changfu has found himself neck-deep in a major crisis.
Officials say the more than 160 workers were also given nearly no days off, working 60 to 70 hours per week.
What could have caused this, and could he be facing a life sentence? Join us as we uncover why BYD CEO was sentenced to life imprisonment. BYD and Tesla rivalry. Now, one of China's richest people, BYD led by Wang Chanfu, has recently overtaken Tesla in global EV sales. BYD's overall vehicle sales were reported to have completely dwarfed Tesla's last year, as the Warren Buffett-backed electric vehicle giant sold 4.27 million vehicles in 2024, compared with Tesla's 1.78 million.
It ultimately really depends on what kind of product BYD is offering. And if there is no alternative and if it is the best, then the world will still see a demand from the company technology, despite the geopolitical tensions.
The main reason, according to the Daily Mail reports, is that BYD, unlike Tesla, sells hybrids and EVs. Due to this slight but very significant difference between both car makers, the Chinese firm was able to sell 1.76 million battery electric vehicles in 2024, meaning it fell just short of Tesla's EV sales crown.
And when you look at the vehicles that these Chinese OEMs and Chinese brands are putting on the market, they are some very good vehicles.
Last week, BYD reported a blowout in its full-year earnings, with revenues overtaking Tesla's for the first time since 2018. The Chinese EV giant reported 2024 annual revenues of 777 billion yuan, or about $107 billion, a nearly 30% rise from the previous year. That means BYD rose above Tesla's 2024 annual revenue, which came in at $97.7 billion.
It's more EVs than they have sold in the previous 4 years. So their growth, they've been planning for an EV transition for quite some time, and they're seeing the fruits of that, and that's feeding into high revenue and high profitability.
As things progress in BYD's favor, Tesla will most likely have to face a fight to retain its status as the world's largest EV maker this year, with sales plunging across the globe in the first few months of the year, while BYD has surged.
Our next story is about Tesla, turning out to be a nightmare for Tesla. First, the Wuhan virus lockdowns in China disrupted its supply chains. Now, Tesla has lost the tag of the world's largest electric car maker.
Tesla's need to come up top over BYD as the year progresses has pushed them to embrace a rivalry with the other car brand unconsciously. And here's where it all starts to get interesting. Elon Musk has told investors to expect Tesla sales to grow this year, but plummeting sales in several countries complicates that goal. Slumping sales in the U.S. come as a series of recent anti-Musk protests and boycott efforts have been aimed at Tesla in response to the billionaire's political involvement.
CEO Elon Musk has been at the heart of Tesla's success, but he's also been a controversial figure, and some of his recent actions are now raising questions about the company's future.
Many vandalism incidents involving Molotov cocktails, suspected arson, and gunfire have also taken place, with some leading to arrests. While Tesla struggles with a decline in sales and different attacks, BYD appears to be graciously taking the lead, which pushes Musk to believe they might have a hand in the crisis Tesla is currently plagued with. After calling out Valerie Costa, an organizer of the protests going on at different Tesla showrooms across America, on X, for most likely hiring protesters to handle the vandalisms, Musk made a hint at Wang Chanfu and BYD's possible involvement. According to Musk, BYD has always had its eyes set on overtaking Tesla in the sales of electric vehicles across the world for quite a long, and there seems to be no better way to get to the top than by fueling the downfall of Tesla.
I just hate Top Gear or anything. He can be very funny and irreverent, but he does have a strong bias against electric cars, and he particularly seems to hate American.
As outrageous as Musk's claims appear to be, authorities are taking his statements seriously as investigations regarding the arson cases rages on. Act Blue, which Musk believes is in cohorts with Costa and the protesters, is currently being investigated alongside Costa. Words without evidence might not mean much to anyone in the force, but coming from an influential figure like Musk, it held some sort of weight. With focus also on BYD, Changfu has been dragged into the spotlight for reasons he had avoided ever since he became famous. Although no evidence has been found to prove his involvement in the arson attacks on Tesla, having his name attached to the scandal is enough to have adverse effects on his company and his reputation. Partners of the company are looking to withdraw, or if possible, detach themselves completely to not suffer from the situation. Experts are saying Changfu could be looking at a life sentence while BYD would be shut down completely if the crimes against Tesla were traced back to him. Wang Chanfu, along with BYD, has refused to comment on the situation, but they have been compliant with the authorities carrying out the investigations. Musk still strongly believes the Chinese firm has a hand in the ongoing crises, but as long as he is unable to provide substantial proof to back up his claims, it will remain of no use to the investigation. This scandal has been revealed to not be the first scandal BYD has been involved in since its establishment. Let's take a look at some scandals BYD has been involved in over the years. BYD's Brazil scandal. Slavery-like working conditions have been uncovered at the Chinese EV maker's factory site in Brazil, casting a spotlight on the standards maintained by Chinese companies, outsourcing workers to foreign locations.
Authorities in Brazil have halted the construction of a factory for Chinese electric vehicle giant Build Your Dreams, or BYD.
The thermometer read over 30 degrees Celsius in the early hours of December 23rd, when Brazilian authorities turned up at the construction site of car giant BYD's new factory in Camaçari, in the northern state of Bahia. MPT investigators told DW that they rescued 163 Chinese workers from slavery-like working conditions at the site. In the dormitories of the Xinjiang Group, the company hired by BYD to carry out the work, there were no mattresses on the beds, and the few toilets served hundreds of workers in extremely unhygienic conditions. The workers also had food stored without refrigeration. The Brazilian Labor Prosecutor's Office also accused the companies of withholding the workers' passports and keeping 60% of their wages. The remaining 40% would be paid in Chinese currency. After authorities claimed that the workers were victims of international human exploitation, the site was shut down, but it didn't end there. The 163 rescued workers were sent to hotels, and a few days later, the Brazilian government stopped issuing temporary work visas to BYD. However, the carmaker said it was cooperating with the Brazilian authorities and that it would not tolerate disrespect for Brazilian law and human dignity. Experts told DW that the case pits the importance of Chinese investment against upholding local standards.
What Brazil needs is investments, and the Chinese investment is quite important for a country like Brazil.
Mauricio Santoro, a political scientist and professor of international relations at the State University of Rio de Janeiro, spoke about how the action was all the more significant because it took place in a company that enjoyed strong political support, both in the federal government and in Bahia. According to Santoro, this movement was due to the importance of BYD's investments in Brazil for President Lula's projects centered on promoting industrialization. After some time, MPT investigators met with representatives of BYD and the companies involved in the construction. all of the rescued workers were reported to have already received their termination payments and returned to China. A report on the inspection of the site is expected to be completed in the coming week, and compensation for the workers would be discussed at a subsequent meeting. Paulo Feldman, an economist and professor at the FEA Business School in Sao Paulo, addressed how using Chinese workers to build the BYD plant was similar to how Chinese multinationals operated in Africa and other Latin American countries. Speaking to DW for Brazil, Feldman mentioned how the practice brings little benefit to the countries that receive the investment. He believes it would have been better if these workers had been local, because of the income they would have generated for themselves and their families, the positive impact on their communities, and the professional training they would have acquired. This would also be an easier way to monitor their working conditions and stop something like this from happening again. However, despite the international repercussions of the case, the actions of the Brazilian authorities in the BYD case should not deter more Chinese investment in Brazil, said economist Feldman. He believes the Brazilian market is very attractive for Chinese companies, and they come to Brazil mainly because of the market. Due to this, the relationship between Brazil and China doesn't appear to be at risk because of this episode. Political scientist Santoro also told DW he hopes the incident will serve as a lesson to Chinese investors about the independence of powers in Brazil. Stay tuned, 'cause this next part is sure to keep you glued to your screens. BYD's steep EV discounting in Thailand sparks backlash. Thailand's Consumer Protection Agency has received about 70 complaints since initiating a probe into aggressive discounting by BYD dealers that has left some buyers feeling they overpaid for their Chinese electric vehicles. These complaints were triggered after a BYD customer alleged that a sales representative had asserted the customer's car's price would rise after a discounting campaign ended. But instead, the dealership later aggressively cut the price further, according to a government statement. BYD officials in Thailand and its sole distributor, Rivalry Automotive, which has a network of over 100 dealerships, did not immediately respond to Reuters' emails seeking comment. According to research firm Counterpoint, Thailand appears to be the largest overseas market for the world's biggest EV manufacturer. BYD initially commanded a 46% share of the Thai EV market in the first quarter and has now risen to the position of third largest player in passenger cars overall, with a share of about 9%. However, Thai authorities are investigating BYD's dealers after a consumer complaint over aggressive discounting in a key international market for the Chinese EV giant that has left some buyers upset with how much they paid for their cars. The office of the Thai Prime Minister instructed the country's Consumer Protection Agency to launch the probe, but that's not all. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin told BYD Chief Executive Wang Chanfu, who was in Thailand to mark the opening of its first Southeast Asian factory, and paid a courtesy call to the premier to better manage customer expectations about pricing and ensure local buyers were protected. Wang gave assurances that future pricing would be appropriate and affected customers would receive support, according to a government spokesman. However, nothing seems to have been done, as some BYD owners in Thailand took to social media to talk about how the deep discounting by the world's largest EV manufacturer had left them feeling shortchanged. One owner on Facebook explained that a BYD Auto 3 car he had bought for 1.19 million baht was now selling for 859,000 baht. Another aggrieved owner posted a video of himself scribbling disparaging remarks about BYD with a thick blue marker on the hood of his EV, including, "I am never buying this car brand again." Rivalry's website also showed some models were currently being discounted by as much as 340,000 baht as the protest raged on. Pasakorn Thapmongkol, a senior official at Thailand's Consumer Protection Board, told Reuters that the agency had met with Rivalry officials and asked for documents related to the discounting scheme. Mongkol also added that more customers were gradually coming in to file more complaints, expressing their regrets about purchasing an EV from BYD. Although Changfu and the company are trying to get the situation under control, BYD's rivals appear to be anticipating the company's downfall. Less sales from BYD meant more sales for the rival companies, especially Tesla, who believed BYD had been stealing sales from them. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has long seen BYD as nothing but a company trying unsuccessfully to mimic the masterpieces made at Tesla. However, with BYD currently surpassing Tesla in sales of EVs across the world, Musk's view of BYD has changed, but his resentment remains. Musk has even gone as far as to blame Tesla's crisis on Wang Chanfu and BYD, but regardless of his stance on the matter, BYD remains in the clear. However, other issues are of more concern for the Chinese firm, as they keep pushing towards regaining their clients' trust, along with their position at the top of the scale in the automobile industry. Although the future of BYD seems to be uncertain, Changfu is determined to keep his company afloat for a long time. As BYD and Tesla tackle their respective issues with their companies, do you think both of them will emerge victorious, or will one have to step down for the other?
Most batteries we use today, like the ones in phones, laptops, and electric cars, are lithium-ion batteries. These batteries have something called liquid electrolytes inside them. This liquid helps move energy around inside the battery, but these liquid electrolytes can be a bit dangerous. If the battery gets too hot, the liquid can catch fire or even explode. This is where all solid-state batteries are different. All solid-state batteries replace the liquid inside with a solid material. This means there is no liquid that can catch fire. The solid material does the same job of moving energy, but in a much safer way. This makes these batteries not only safer, but also better in many other ways. BYD made the decision to switch to all solid-state batteries because these batteries are safer and more efficient than traditional lithium-ion batteries.
Solid-state batteries need to be manufactured in extremely controlled conditions. The actual manufacturing process is also very labor-intensive, at least for right now, especially compared to traditional lithium-ion batteries.
Traditional batteries use liquid electrolytes, which can cause problems like fires or overheating. All solid-state batteries, on the other hand, use solid electrolytes. This change makes them safer and better at storing energy. The company believes this innovation will greatly improve the performance of electric vehicles, also known as EVs, and other devices that use batteries. Apart from the safety reason, another reason BYD is making this change is that all solid-state batteries are more efficient. They can store more energy in the same amount of space compared to traditional batteries. This is called higher energy density. With higher energy density, cars can drive longer distances on a single charge. Some of these new batteries can enable cars to travel more than hundreds of miles per charge, which is a huge improvement. This is especially important for people who want to use EVs for long trips without worrying about running out of power. Charging time is another area where all solid-state batteries shine. Traditional batteries can take hours to fully charge, which is inconvenient. All solid-state batteries can charge much faster, often in about 10 minutes. This is almost as quick as filling a car with gas. Faster charging makes EVs even more practical for everyday use. It means drivers can spend less time waiting and more time driving. That's not all. Besides safety and efficiency, these batteries also open new possibilities for other devices. They can be used in drones, making them lighter and able to fly longer distances. Smartphones can benefit from longer battery life and faster charging.
Xiaomi solid-state battery technology, a whole new revolutionary battery for smartphones.
Renewable energy systems can also use these batteries to store more power and distribute it when needed. This could help create a more sustainable energy future by making renewable sources like wind and solar more reliable. BYD's decision to switch to all solid-state batteries reflects its commitment to innovation and sustainability. The company sees this technology as a way to lead the EV industry and stay ahead of competitors. By improving the safety, performance, and practicality of EVs, all solid-state batteries could encourage more people to switch from gasoline-powered cars to electric ones. This change supports global efforts to reduce carbon emissions and combat climate change. Despite the incredible benefits and features associated with these all-solid-state batteries, like other batteries in the electronics industry, they also face certain challenges that must be addressed. Keep watching to find out what these challenges are. Challenges associated with the all-solid-state batteries. All-solid-state batteries are an exciting breakthrough in energy storage, but like any innovative technology, they come with their own set of challenges that must be addressed before they can be widely adopted. One of the biggest obstacles is cost. Producing all-solid-state batteries is significantly more expensive than manufacturing standard lithium-ion batteries. The materials required, such as solid electrolytes, are costly and not as readily available.
It can actually pass through from the electrolyte itself. This means much higher safety and potentially much better performance, but there's other challenges.
Additionally, the processes and specialized equipment needed to produce these batteries on a large scale add to the expense. This high price makes it difficult for manufacturers to offer these batteries at competitive rates. Reducing costs is a major focus for researchers and industry experts who are exploring alternative materials and production methods. Another huge challenge is scaling up production. Currently, most all-solid-state batteries are made in research labs or small production facilities. Manufacturing a few prototypes is manageable, but producing these batteries in large quantities for global markets presents logistical and technical difficulties. Scaling up involves not only building new factories, but also refining production techniques to ensure consistent quality. Until this hurdle is overcome, the availability of these batteries will remain limited. Durability over time is another issue associated with all solid-state batteries. While all solid-state batteries are known for their high energy density, they can degrade with repeated use. Tiny cracks can form in the solid electrolyte during charge and discharge cycles, reducing the battery's performance over time. These cracks can also cause energy transfer within the battery to become less efficient. Researchers are working on creating more durable materials that can withstand repeated use without breaking down. Internal resistance is a technical problem that affects the performance of these batteries. Unlike liquid electrolytes, solid electrolytes can sometimes struggle to create a seamless connection with the other components of the battery, such as the electrodes. This can result in reduced efficiency and slower energy transfer. Scientists are experimenting with different designs and materials to improve the interface between the battery's components and reduce this resistance. Things don't end there. Temperature sensitivity is another concern. Many all-solid-state batteries perform best at higher temperatures, which is impractical for most real-world applications. For example, in cold climates, the battery's efficiency can drop significantly, making it less reliable. This limitation is a major drawback for industries like electric vehicles, where batteries need to perform consistently in all weather conditions. Engineers are focused on developing solid electrolytes and battery designs that can operate effectively across a wide range of temperatures.
Working at high pressures and high temperatures, which increases the cost of manufacturing.
There is the challenge of public and market acceptance. While the benefits of all solid-state batteries are clear to experts, convincing businesses and consumers to invest in this new technology can be difficult. Concerns about the high cost, reliability, and unfamiliarity with the technology may discourage widespread adoption. Companies will need to demonstrate the long-term advantages of these batteries, such as reduced maintenance and greater safety, to build trust and confidence. Despite this problem, BYD is still willing to take the step of innovation by incorporating all solid-state batteries into its ecosystem. Let's find out how these batteries contribute to the company's legacy. How all solid-state batteries contribute to BYD's legacy of innovation. BYD has always been known for innovation. The company is constantly finding ways to improve its products, reduce environmental harm, and make advanced technologies more accessible. All solid-state batteries are the latest addition to BYD's growing list of breakthroughs. These batteries have the potential to reshape the industry and reinforce BYD's position as a pioneer in sustainable transportation and energy solutions. One way all solid-state batteries contribute to BYD's legacy is by offering a safer alternative to traditional lithium-ion batteries. Safety has always been a huge concern in the energy storage and electric vehicle industries. Lithium-ion batteries, while widely used, come with risks such as overheating and fires. BYD has already made strides in improving battery safety with its Blade battery, which greatly reduces fire hazards. Now, with all solid-state batteries, BYD takes safety a step further. By replacing the liquid electrolytes in traditional batteries with solid electrolytes, the risk of short circuits and thermal runaway is nearly eliminated. This makes all solid-state batteries a game-changer for electric vehicles, where safety is a top priority for consumers and regulators alike. Like we mentioned earlier, another major benefit of these batteries is their higher energy density. BYD has always focused on creating efficient energy solutions, and all solid-state batteries align perfectly with this goal. These batteries can store more energy in the same amount of space compared to traditional batteries. For example, some all-solid-state batteries have the potential to provide ranges exceeding 600 miles, a significant improvement over current lithium-ion batteries. By adopting this technology, BYD can address one of the biggest concerns of EV buyers' range anxiety. Longer ranges make electric vehicles more practical and appealing, helping BYD attract more customers and encourage the shift from gasoline-powered cars to EVs.
No company makes or sells more than BYD.
Wait, there's more. In addition to longer ranges, all solid-state batteries also enable faster charging times. Charging an electric vehicle can take several hours with current technology, which can be inconvenient for many drivers. All solid-state batteries, however, can be charged much more quickly, sometimes in as little as 10 minutes. This makes owning an electric vehicle more convenient and comparable to the quick refueling times of traditional gas-powered cars. BYD's commitment to improving user experience is evident in its adoption of this technology, as it directly addresses one of the most common barriers to EV adoption. These batteries also contribute to BYD's legacy by making electric vehicles more environmentally friendly. Sustainability is at the core of BYD's mission, and all solid-state batteries align with this vision. The improved efficiency and durability of these batteries mean fewer resources are needed to produce and replace them over time. They also have the potential to reduce reliance on harmful materials like cobalt, which is often associated with environmental and ethical concerns during mining. By exploring sustainable alternatives, BYD can minimize its environmental footprint while leading the industry toward greener practices. The versatility of all solid-state batteries also enhances BYD's innovation. While they are primarily discussed in the context of electric vehicles, these batteries have applications beyond the automotive industry. BYD is a leader in renewable energy storage solutions, and all solid-state batteries can be used to store energy from solar panels and wind turbines more efficiently. They also have potential uses in devices like drones, smartphones, and medical equipment. By integrating this technology into multiple sectors, BYD can expand its influence and continue to shape the future of energy. All solid-state batteries also support BYD's commitment to global carbon reduction efforts. As governments worldwide implement stricter emissions regulations, automakers must innovate to meet these standards. BYD has always been ahead of the curve, offering solutions that not only comply with regulations, but exceed them. By adopting all solid-state batteries, BYD can produce vehicles that are more efficient, reliable, and sustainable, helping countries transition to cleaner energy systems. This aligns with BYD's broader mission of creating a better future through green technology. Finally, the introduction of all solid-state batteries shows BYD's role as a trendsetter in the industry. As one of the first major companies to adopt this technology, BYD is setting an example for others to follow. Its willingness to embrace cutting-edge solutions reinforces its reputation as a leader in innovation. Other companies look to BYD for inspiration, and its success with all solid-state batteries could accelerate the adoption of this technology across the industry. As we look at these amazing changes in the car industry, it's clear we're entering an exciting new era. Traditional engines and electric vehicles are making huge strides, each offering unique benefits. These new, advanced engines could one day surpass electric vehicles, providing the convenience of traditional cars with the eco-friendliness we need. Others are certain that EVs are the only way forward. Which side will you be on? That brings us to the end of this video. The rise of XPeng Motors. It finally happened. The dream of flying cars, something we once thought only existed in science fiction movies, is now real. China has done it. They've introduced the world's first ever flying car, a functioning, groundbreaking reality, not just a wild concept.
This is definitely very exciting. This has been in the works for over 10 years. Actually, the predecessor of Huitian is actually older than XPeng itself.
I'll leave that to sink in for a moment because we're about to witness a huge shift in how we move, live, and think about transportation. This is not just another electric car or a flashy tech gadget. It's the first serious step toward a new way of life, and it's happening in China. Now, why does this even matter so much? Well, think about it. We've all been stuck in endless traffic, wasting hours in our cars, trapped in a system that hasn't changed much in decades. Roads are crowded, cities are growing, and we're spending more time than ever just getting from one place to another. But what if you could rise above all that? What if you could skip the road, take to the skies, and get to where you need to be without hassle? That's what China's flying car promises, and it's set to change everything. But who's behind this revolutionary leap? Before we reveal the incredible flying car, let's delve into the story of XPeng Motors and discover how they've brought the XPeng X2 to life. XPeng Motors is a company making waves in the world of transportation.
This is the X2, a battery-powered aircraft known as an eVTOL, which can take off and land vertically.
Known for its cutting-edge electric vehicles and innovative technology, XPeng Motors leads the charge toward a cleaner, smarter future. One of XPeng Motors' key strengths is its focus on technology. The company is known for incorporating cutting-edge technology into its vehicles, making them stand out in the competitive electric vehicle market. XPeng Motors was co-founded in 2014 Guangzhou, China, by He Xiaopeng, a former senior executive at Alibaba, and Xia Heng, a former senior executive at GAC Group, alongside other tech entrepreneurs. The company started with a clear vision: to create smart electric vehicles that would be environmentally friendly and packed with the latest technology. The founders of XPeng Motors had a background in technology and business, giving them a unique perspective on revolutionizing the automotive industry. They wanted to combine their knowledge of tech with their passion for cars to build innovative and practical vehicles. And now, their leadership has steered XPeng Motors to become a global player in the electric vehicle market, and now, in the flying car sector. This forward-thinking approach is not just about making cars, it's about creating a new way to travel. XPeng's leaders constantly push the boundaries, explore new technologies, and challenge the status quo to offer groundbreaking products like the XPeng X2. You may not know, but from its inception, XPeng Motors focused on developing electric vehicles that could compete with traditional gasoline-powered cars. The company aimed to make electric vehicles more appealing to a broader audience.
Technology combined with mobility in auto is where we think the future is going to be.
By offering advanced features, high performance, and stylish designs. One of the main reasons XPeng Motors stands out is its commitment to cutting-edge technology. The company invests heavily in research and development to ensure its vehicles are at the forefront of innovation. So in 2018, they introduced their first model, the XPeng G3, an electric SUV. The G3 was designed to be a smart, connected vehicle with features like a large touchscreen interface, advanced driver assistance systems, and over-the-air software updates. It was a significant step towards proving that electric vehicles could be practical and exciting. However, as XPeng Motors gained traction, the company expanded its product lineup. It began to build a strong reputation in the electric vehicle market. They introduced the XPeng P7, a sleek electric sedan, further cementing their position as a leader in the EV industry. XPeng vehicles are equipped with advanced technology features such as autonomous driving capabilities, smart navigation systems, and large digital displays.
The most interesting thing about this car, of course, is the NGP function, the autonomous driving function.
The company's cars are designed to provide a seamless and intuitive driving experience, with features that enhance safety and convenience. Unarguably, XPeng Motors is a pioneer in autonomous driving technology. Their vehicles have advanced driver assistance systems with features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking. These systems use a combination of cameras, sensors, and AI to help drivers navigate safely and confidently. Also, XPeng's vehicles can receive over-the-air updates, allowing the company to continuously improve the car's software without requiring a visit to a dealership. This means that XPeng owners can benefit from new features and improvements even after they've purchased their vehicle.
Let us know what you think in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You will love it.